Hello everyone, my name is Taryn Roberts, and this is my book advertisement video for children's literature. I wanted to first off start off by saying that I really did enjoy this project. I felt like it was really eye-opening. I know for me personally, I found that I did have a good mix of male and female authors, and I felt like I had a good mix of socioeconomic differences and family structure differences in my protagonists. But the one area that I did find was I did not include authors of different races, of different ethnic backgrounds or ethnicities, and that is where I was failing my students. So I made a very big effort to incorporate different ethnicities and different themes across the books that I chose, across the 10 that I picked, my additional improvement books. And so I'm going to share some of those with you today. The first book that I chose to present to you guys as far as one of my improvement books was this book called My Name is Maria Isabella by Alma Florida. I chose this book for a number of reasons. One, I felt like the theme of it, the general idea, is that this little girl moves schools, and her teacher, she moves into a classroom where there are two other little girls named Maria, and so instead of her teacher calling her Maria, her teacher calls her Mary, and obviously that is not correct or right in any way, shape, or form. But I chose this book because that's such an important theme to me, or important concept to me in my classroom. I try very, very hard each year to learn my students' names. I feel like names are such an important part of who we are, and I feel like they're very important in terms of who we are as people and the way we perceive ourselves. And I feel like if there's anything you can get right, it's somebody's name. So that was one of the reasons I chose this book. Another reason is that the author, this is her autobiography. So this was about an experience that she had actually in her life. So it was definitely about her. It was close and near and dear to her heart. And I felt like a lot of times the books that we choose, they could be written by anybody, but especially if the author has a tie to the purpose or theme behind the book, it adds so much more. And so I felt like this was a really important book to share with my class and to share with you guys today. The second book that I chose is Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon by Patty Lovell. This book was one of my favorite growing up. It was such a fun book to read. The illustrations are amazing. It's just a really neat story to read as a kid, but it also holds a very, very special theme. In that it is anti-bullying, and it is also all about self-love. So it's less of revenge or getting back at somebody for bullying you, or facing off a bully and standing up for yourself. It's less about the other person or the bully, and more about how you feel about yourself, internalizing those feelings and those things. And so for me, it was really, really important to include this, because I think it's so important for us to teach our children that they need to love who they are, despite their differences, despite the things that make them stand out from other people. They need to be proud in that. And so in this book, Molly Lou Mellon's short, and she can't sing, and she has buck teeth, and all of these different things. And her grandmother consistently reminds her to stand tall, and the world will stand with you. Sing loud, and the world will sing with you. Smile big, and the world will smile back. And it just is all about embracing those things that we can't change about ourselves, or even if we could, we shouldn't, or we don't have to change about ourselves, and understanding that it takes us to love ourselves first before other people can love us. So for my third and final book, I chose Juana and Lucas by Juana Medina. This book I found really interesting, and the reason I chose it, the main reason I chose it, was that my school has a significant population of English language learners. So I have lots of students in my class in the past, and will in this next year, and of course moving forward, that are not Native Americans or English speakers, whether were born here or they were born in another country, their home language is not English. And so this book, the little girl is Colombian, and she shares that with the author. The author is also Colombian, who shares the same name. This is an biography in the sense that she uses herself. There wasn't much information on if this was her story, but I would assume that. So anyways, this little girl, she is learning English from her school. And so it really walks through the process of her starting out only knowing Spanish in Colombia to learning English. And I like that it incorporated that Spanish in the text. So it incorporates and sprinkles in Spanish words as she's thinking, because she's learning how to think in both Spanish and English. But I really liked that because it incorporated words that kids could easily figure out if they did not speak Spanish, but it also provided representation for my students who do speak Spanish. So this was my third and final book. I really appreciate you listening and hope you enjoy these additions that I made to my classroom, and maybe you can make them to yours. Thank you so much.